Hey there guys, just wanted to make a little quick video. It's not really going to be about all the things you see here, but wanted to show you guys military surplus gear that I used to think were pretty applicable to the outdoors and backpacking. Um, Matter of fact, I have the Giganto pack here. Got the Arc'teryx designed ILBE2 in Marpat, and everything in there is 40 pounds, and everything you see here is 25 pounds. I'll be going over a military surplus poncho in comparison to the Onewind camo and olive green colors, and just talking about, is it still worth it to purchase and use the military surplus. All right. Anyway, it's kind of insane that at some point in time I was hiking around with military surplus gear and a military surplus bag, and that definitely drove the pack weight up. So here we have the Onewind ponchos, both in camo and the olive color, right next to the genuine USGI military ripstop poncho. And I believe this is made of 70 denier ripstop nylon, and it's coated with polyurethane, and the seams are not taped, but they have a seam seal on the inside. You've got metal grommets. We'll go over that when I spread them out later. Not very packable. It's about 3 times the size of the other ponchos. Now, first of all, if you're in the military, thank you for serving, and that way we get to enjoy the freedoms we have in this country. Thank you all. This is in no way derogatory to the military. Matter of fact, props to everyone that had to hump a 80-pound pack plus, and I learned about military gear more through the years, but initially I was watching a lot of these channels that promoted military surplus, and then I finally went to a local store and met someone who became my friend later on, Sean, who was a thru hiker. And he goes, "Don't you have any idea how much those things weigh?" And as I did start going outdoors with the military modular sleeping bag, they are considerably a lot heavier. Now, all military surplus gear that's issued to our military are all U.S. made, and they I believe it's called Berry compliance, and this is definitely one of those. Quality is superb. That material is definitely durable, and you've got metal grommets. These things are built to last. But this poncho weighs 1.5 pounds. Now let me just roll it up into its hood and show you guys the weight on the scale. So here we have the 3 ponchos, as compact as I could probably get this. The military poncho is just under 1 pound 8 ounces, and then you've got the Onewind olive is 8.3, and 8 ounces exactly for the camo version. Now the Onewind ponchos are interesting because the claim was that this was 20 denier and this was 15 denier, but that means this should be heavier. And also, according to Amazon's listing, this is a bigger poncho than this one, and this was supposed to weigh 9 ounces. So we're going to spread these out and take a couple of measurements. So here we have the ponchos laid out, and I've already measured them, and I put a clip on one end of the tarps or the ponchos. Now, the published measurements on the military issued poncho is I believe it said 85 by 59, and this one measures at 85 by 60. So it's the widest out of the three. The olive drab by Onewind is at 86 or 87 inches long, and the width was 55 inches, and the camo pattern Onewind poncho is 98 inches, but only 54 inches wide. The military poncho comes with these metal grommets, and the Onewind poncho has the tabs on the ends and little D-rings made of plastic. The camo version has the same construction on the corners, but it actually has another piece right here on the bottom of the hem. And you also have on the other side a clip, and I believe you can turn that into sort of a bivvy, an emergency bivvy, just the way the military used to do with their poncho liner, to keep off moisture when they're outside, or to have more wind resistance with their poncho liners. It's like make your own sleeping bag and bivvy, basically. So that's a pretty cool feature of all three ponchos. Now it's a bit of a letdown that this particular one doesn't have a grommet or attachment point in the middle of the hem. So that's the olive green Onewind. Let me just take a quick look on the blue one since we have these laid out. Okay, so the blue version, just like the olive version, also doesn't have the tabs or stakeout points in the middle of the hem. So the military poncho, as well as the camo version of the Onewind poncho, has an attachment point for a guy line or to be staked out directly to the ground. Let's take a closer look at the materials. Again, a bit confusing if you go on Amazon, whether it's now I'm guessing the camo is the 15 denier because it's lighter than either the blue or the olive color, and it's actually much bigger and has more features. Now if you look at the comparison between these two, you can see my fingers through either one, and you could barely make them out behind the 70 denier fabric of the military poncho. So I forgot to mention a couple more features. You do have a draw cord here by the hood, and there's no brim. Again, these are not seam taped, they are seam sealed, and you can see the residue there, as well as by the neck. And according to, I forgot where I read it from, a forum, that is one of the big tells on authenticity. If you find a military poncho that claims to be genuine issue, especially in this pattern, I don't know about the newer versions, but the prior patterns, the ACU and the Woodland Camo and Ripstop, they were not seam sealed. So if you find one that's seam sealed or has a laminate, one time I ordered and I had to return it, they charged me $60. The company claimed to be selling an authentic piece, and it was not authentic. It was a replica So their argument was that it was made in the USA with Berry standards. It was a lot heavier because they did laminate the inside. So this is just polyurethane coated. You have on the bottom hem, or by the bottom hem, the instructions on care as well as the NSN number. And so all military surplus says right there NSN, and you've got the numbers right there. So just be careful if you were planning on picking up a military poncho due to its durability as well as just the fact that you're owning a genuine military surplus. There is still an intrinsic value in that. These ponchos here, I have two of them, and one of the reasons why this became sort of our designated emergency shelter was because with these double-sided metal snaps on the sides, you can actually clip two ponchos together or attach the ponchos to make a bigger shelter. And one of the biggest draws at that point for me. So anyway, in terms of value or cost, very hard to find on eBay. Matter of fact, I couldn't find any as of today online that were genuine issue. The replicas are selling for between $60, $80 to $100, you know, used to brand new. And I think the last time I saw a genuine military poncho was selling for about $85. So these might be going for around $100 now, even in used condition. So I was considering selling these ponchos because they are heavier than I prefer. Let me pause for a second and just roll it up. Okay, so just to summarize, as you can see here, you have two of the Woodland Camo genuine military ponchos, and you've got the Onewind ponchos both in olive and camo, and you could right away tell about the packed size, and we went over the weight. So from a standpoint of backpacking, these are definitely heavy. I have a friend who still uses a military poncho for his summer trips with a bug net. I personally would prefer to use these here for my campouts. But in terms of bug out bags, or for people who are really just going to 1 or 2 mile hikes and then performing mostly bushcraft, this will certainly do well as your rain gear and emergency shelter. They're durable and they are definitely made of quality materials. The issue that I would have here, perhaps, even though they're more durable, is there is no warranty on these items. So you can certainly find a currently produced commercial poncho that has a good warranty, and you can return that to the store if you purchased a poncho from, let's say, REI if they had one, or one of those companies that offer like a 1-year warranty. You can certainly do that. If your poncho does have a damage or rip, you would have to repair it yourself. And now these ponchos are costing, again, between $60 to $100 depending on condition, and if it was brand new or pre-owned, and if you could even find one. These are readily available on Amazon for $30 and $35. Again, 70 denier fabric. You've got, I believe, the 20 denier, and this is the 15 denier. Anyway, guys, please like, share, subscribe. I hope that you will enjoy. I will be making a series on military surplus gear that I own. Thank you. Have a great one.